Edmond Dantès, you're under arrest by order of the magistrate of Marseille.
Arrest? On what charges?
That information is privileged.
If there is one type of story that every human can get behind, it is a redemption story. Fallen hero gets back on the horse, a successful man falling into drugs and then getting clean and sorting out his life. But when you crave more action and the story becomes more real and true to human nature, the redemption story becomes a revenge story. This movie tells exactly that tale. But is it any good? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe. Like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie, The Count of Monte Cristo.
You presume to demote me?
There is no demotion. You will remain first mate under Captain Dantès.
The Count of Monte Cristo is a semi-historical adventure film directed by Kevin Reynolds and written by Jay Wolpert. The movie is yet another adaptation of Alexander Dumas' book of the same name. But as per any adaptation, some of the names from the book have been changed and certain story elements have been changed in order to polish up the story and steer it in the director's vision. The production of the film was mostly shot in Malta, as various places in the island were used as the stand-ins for places we see from the book, like the Chateau d'If and the Old Harbor.
Where is he? Where's Edmond?
Lovely to see you too. I just missed him, I'm afraid.
The story of the movie starts as a French merchant ship docks at the island of Elba and seeks out help for its ill captain. On board are the second mate, Edmond Dantès, and his friend, Fernand Mondego. In order to secure a doctor for his captain, Dantès strikes a bargain with Napoleon Bonaparte to deliver a letter when the ship docks at Marseille.
You are to deliver the letter to Monsieur Clérion. Can you remember that name?
Monsieur Clérion.
Once there, we discovered that the captain died and that the company who owns the ship promotes Dantès over the first mate Danglars, which makes him very angry. Dantès, however, is supremely happy because now he can marry his fiancée, Mercedes.
Missing is over now.
Are you in trouble?
No, I'm captain. Come on.
Alas, at the same night, Dantès gets arrested, and having come clean to the prosecutor Villeport about the letter, thinking the charges would go away, Dantès is sent to Chateau d'If for the crime of treason.
No, my dear Dantès. I know perfectly well that you are innocent. Why else would you be here?
Once there, together with another inmate who happened to tunnel into Dantès' cell, he plots his escape and his final revenge on the people who framed him.
Strange that a chief magistrate would burn evidence of a treasonous conspiracy.
The Count of Monte Cristo's story has been told many times in film and in TV adaptations, dating all the way back to 1954. And the reason for that is the fact that this is the archetypical revenge story. A man who is wrongly convicted of a crime because of jealousy or other motives. He is naive and innocent and has to pay the price. He reaches points of despair and anguish that drive him closer and closer to madness, only to be sent a line of hope as he grabs onto that and rebuilds himself to become the tool of vengeance in order to fix his life and demolish the people who wronged him. But in this adaptation, the director changed a bit of the relationships between the people and blurted away some of the plot lines from the book in order to focus on the rivalry between Dantès and his frenemy Mondego. The story, of course, is much more complicated than that, but I will leave you to discover. But I'll leave you to discover the movie by yourself.
We are kings or pawns, a man once said.
See? Who told you these?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
As for the main roles, this was the first movie I've seen Jim Caviezel in a lead role. I have seen him in other movies like G.I. Jane as a side character, but this is the first time he takes the lead. I believe he was cast very well due to his natural babyface look. It's as if his face projects this innocence and naivete. But after the transformation into the Count of Monte Cristo and settling into the revenge part of the story, Caviezel's sheer demeanor makes you look past his face and into this intense individual.
They must suffer as I suffered. They must see their world, all they hold dear, ripped from them as it was ripped from me.
On the other side of the spectrum is Guy Pearce as Fernand Mondego. This is probably the first villainous role that Pearce has done, because I don't really consider his role in Rules of Engagement as a villain, but more as an antagonist. In The Count of Monte Cristo, he really settles into this villainous nature of Fernand Mondego, and to me, he brought an extra little something and made the role his own. Because every time you see him on screen, you love to hate him, which tells me that Pierce is doing a great job with it.
Maybe our little secret.
I don't believe in secrets.
You think Edmond doesn't have secrets? He does. Ask him.
And one little side note about the casting is the role of Abba Freya, played by Richard Harris. At the time, Harris was known to new audiences as the actor playing Dumbledore. Harris's unique voice and the fact that he is closely associated with the Dumbledore character kind of gave me a chuckle on the rewatch because I know how the story goes and how that character plays a part in it.
I will teach you economics, mathematics, philosophy, science.
To read and write?
Of course.
Now to my criticism. Even though this version of The Count of Monte Cristo looks well shot and is certainly well acted, I don't think it brought anything new to the table. Sure, there are some references to God and how he has the tools of vengeance that may have been channeled into Dantès, and I think this is more to do with Caviezel himself, and at this point is a little bit of a cliche. Overall, I enjoyed the retelling of the story, but personally, this is not the kind of movie I personally look for in a revenge story. Although I have seen this movie several times before, I don't feel like this adaptation has any special merit. Maybe Pierce's acting, but really nothing else. It is a serviceable adaptation of the book, but nothing really wowed me about it. So I honestly don't particularly recommend it. It's a mid at best movie that if you like the subject matter or the time period, you might invest your time in one of these several miniseries which gives you a much better and more complex revenge storyline. So to summarize, the movie isn't bad, it's not good, it's just mid. It's worth one watch, and even if you miss it, it's not a big deal.
What if I win and I don't want to be a smuggler?
Then we slit your throat and we're a bit short-handed.
I find smuggling is the life for me and would be delighted to kill your friend the maggot.
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.